It's about that time. Jujutsu Kaisen, Chapter 249. Inhuman Makayo Shinjuku Showdown, Part 21. You know what's even funnier than 9 plus 10? My will be carried on. Okay. So, we're picking up with Yuta killing Kenjaku, obviously. Which we know he gets back there to fight Sukuna. This is actually interesting because it kind of harkens back to what Toji said a long time ago about, like, granted, that was about killing Geto. Like, that he would keep him alive because he didn't know what would happen to the cursed spirits. Like, he didn't know what the consequences of killing him would be. This kind of looks like it. I knew it. Kenjaku losing control is causing cursed manipulation to go on a rampage. Yeah, makes sense. Also interesting parallel between the two people who have fought Geto to a standstill, you know, Yuta and Toji. I also find it really cool. I probably want to do a little elaborating on this, but I was thinking kind of post-chapter the other day about how Yuta seems to be heavily related to the concept of promises, whether it be with Rika or his promise to kill Kenjaku. It's like both enemies and allies alike. He like not just duty bound, but he has like this necessity to fulfill his promises. I think it could be something worth delving a little more into. So perhaps that'll be a topic for another day. But for now, we got chapter to read. Of course, yes, just all manner of horrific spirits, crabs and snakes and wolves and swine. But Rika is the queen of curses for a reason. Is he? He's not dead. Okay, yeah. Kogane, add a rule. Make it so Megumi Fushiguro has authority to activate the merger of humankind by Tengen. As you wish. Rule 15. Megumi Fushiguro has the authority to activate the merger of humankind by Tengen. I need a backup plan. Sukuna has undergone the ritual of secession. Now, if I use the cooling game as a basis for overriding the originator of the ritual and merging... Tengen. Huh. It wasn't 1,000 years worth of fun, but I'm glad I fooled around with that guy at the end. You guys are next. I'm sure it'll be amusing. I'm nervous. There's a pit in my stomach. Sukuna's reverse curse technique output is returning. It's only a matter of time before he can use his domain again. Even worse, he defeated Higuruma because I didn't stay. Should I have stayed and lent my full support to the plan involving the Executioner's sword? Would Maki have been better suited for sneaking up on Kenjaku? No. Rika's strength would have been indispensable for reducing human fatalities in the out-of-control cursed spirit manipulation technique. Had caused cursed spirit discharge on a maximum scale in Shibuya. Okay. Oh, that's cool. He's surrounding himself with minuscule cutting attacks like a chainsaw to seize the katana without touching the blade. Makes sense, I suppose. Oh, but can he... I guess he's got 4 arms to tango with both of them at the same time, but Yuta landing a square punch. That's sick. He don't even need that sword. The sword is just a tool. Oh, this is the fight between, like, another supreme, or special grade. I've been making excuses. I wanted to defeat Kenjaku with my own hands. I created this situation. This is all my fault. So, domain expansion, authentic, mutual love. Ho ho ho! That's so cool. He whips out the ring, authentic, mutual love. And there's, like, they're like, I guess, they almost remind me of like tank vehicle like barricade thingies, the things you might see in like an old war game or something, and just katanas absolutely everywhere. Of course, I got Hollow Wicker Basket too, which I've talked with one of my friends, explained to me. Hollow Wicker Basket is basically just the old version of Simple Domain, which makes sense. Just kind of under a different name. Thin Icebreaker. Thin Icebreaker. So, I will finish everything with this domain. I see. This is their second plan. Thanks to Megumi Fushiguro's memory, I know that the possessed brat's curse technique is copy. They want to keep half my arms and mouths busy by making me keep using Hollow Wicker Basket as a means of countering the can't miss attack, probably the angel's curse technique that comes from within the domain, and to attack. What does that even mean? Probably the angel's curse technique that comes with the domain. Angel isn't even here. And to attack with unlimited curse technique copy, which appears to only activate within the domain. Then, the boy will deliver a blow that captures the soul and tears Megumi Fushiguro from my body. How nice. Everyone has a role. Yeah, except the 30 people who aren't involved yet. That was a short chapter. Yuta Okotsu's domain is authenticity and mutual love. Not exactly what it was called last chapter, but it selects one curse technique from among those he has copied and stockpiled, and grants it to the barrier as a can't miss attack. The other curse techniques inhabit the katana within his domain at random. Only Okotsu can draw upon their effects. Even Okotsu doesn't know which curse technique is in a particular katana until he takes it in hand. Each katana disappears after it releases its curse technique, but the number of swords is unlimited. Oh, okay. That's pretty nifty, actually. So all the techniques he's copied over the years, well, I say years, I guess years, are just stored in the various katanas around the room, and he can just pick them up and use them whenever he wants. That's pretty sick, actually. And they land with the can't miss attack. That is really cool, actually. Little Rika bats. What are those? And Yuji's in the domain too, so unsurprisingly. And of course, I would imagine Rika is no less powerful inside the domain. And Sukuna's got to keep his hands in hollow wicker basket the entire time. What was that curse technique? Was that a curse technique that places an invulnerable barrier on a Shikigami's trajectory? Thanks to my fight against Satoru Gojo, I still can't use my domain, and the effects of my reverse curse technique are weakened. My overall amount of cursed energy is about the same as the possessed brats, and I can't fire Dismantle, which has a broad strike and cuts the world, while also maintaining Hollow Wicker Basket. On top of all that... Yuji fastball. That's sick. Oh, look at that panel. The sword in one, catching the sword in one hand, catching Yuji with the other, and Wicker Basket with the other two. There's another problem. They're applying the same principle that allowed the boy's attack to have an effect on the patch-faced curse. They're targeting the secondary boundary between my soul and Megumi Fushiguro's soul, in an attempt to awaken Fushiguro's soul, which I submerged in the bath, and to disrupt the attunement of our physical forms. Every time I take an attack from the boy, my cursed energy output drops, and my physical control decreases. Despite the risk, they intend to chip away until I can't maintain Hollow Wicker Basket. Then use the angel's curse technique Jacob Ladder to remove the cursed object from inside Fushiguro. What cursed object from inside Fushiguro? I don't understand what that means. Looks like more cleaves coming out on him. Oh, there's cursed speech. Don't move. Thin Icebreaker. Isn't, Thin Icebreaker is the one... Oh, geez. I can't remember the name of that girl. The lady who could fold the sky. That's what Thin Icebreaker is. Still, super cool. I'm glad to see, like, Yuta actually kind of incorporating these into his regular things. So that's not the swords technique. That's literally just him using cursed speech. Cool. So don't move. Thin Icebreaker sends him flying, but he's still got to keep his hands. Oh, Yuta in with the massive spike. Oh, that's sick. Look at that. Go Yuta. Go, Yuta. Oh, what was that? That almost looked like a hollow purple, but obviously not. And he has Rika by the face now. Rika's not, like, kind of in this shadowy form. It's kind of strange. It doesn't need to be harder than that. But unless it makes contact and cuts equal to that guy's attack, it'll never deliver a fatal wound. My cursed energy output isn't just low because of fighting Gojo. It's also because of Jujutsu High's defenses coming out in great numbers. Then there's the boy's reverse curse technique. And this domain, the can't miss attack, is only focused on me. Was he always able to do that? That's a high-level barrier technique. What did you do in the past month? Hard work and persevere. Cheat. Huh? If it weren't for the fight against Gojo-sensei, Sukuna would have healed up and wiped us out in an instant. I hate to admit it, but we're fighting the strongest sorcerer. If we don't settle this right now in the domain, I'm afraid of what will happen next. Get some more people in here. Where's Maki? Get Maki in here. I mean, just to start with, you know? I mean, granted, you said Angel is waiting outside, you know? I feel like maybe Kukusabe could do something. Get some people in here. Like, maybe that's a limit of the... Sukuna did say the high-level barrier technique is allowing Yuji to be in here without being subject to the sure hit effect. So maybe Yuta can only really manage getting one person in. I am interested to know what he means by cheat. I fulfilled the conditions for ink. What was ink? What's ink? Was that precognition? What's going on inside that barrier? Who is that? There's so many questions. 1. Jacob's ladder. 2. Curse technique, treating the space as a surface. 3. Curse technique, placing an inviolable barrier on the Shikigami's trajectory. 4. Curse speech. 5. Precognition. Limitless curse technique? No. 6 eyes is necessary to control that. So, is that it? Even Sukuna leaves an opening when encountering a curse technique for the first time. So that should do even more. Assumedly, I guess ink is just something he's picked up. That's not the thing that, what is it? That the Zenin clan could do. No. This is it. Okay, he's pulling the sky. Oh, whoa. That actually looks wicked. So he basically just, like, warped his sword to him. Cleave. Oh! Snap! Once again, Yuta demonstratively proves why he's him. This is his curse technique. 251, let's go. It's too hyped to stop now. This is when? Sukuna's fingers. You never recovered the last one. Oh, I get it. You ate it. But why would he have to do that? Curious. I mean, would he not just be able to copy? Also, Yuji is kind of getting thrashed right now. Oh, but that knee is beautiful. Oh, and he's just spitting the blood into his face. Oh, the uppercut from Yuta. Now, this is our last chance to defeat Sukuna and get back to Fushiguro. So don't stop. Heal, 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 heal. His cursed energy output and physical control are plummeted. Wicker basket's getting released. Ending hollow wicker basket. Okay. That's not him talking. Ending hollow wicker basket and bearing the effects of Angel's curse technique while relying on dismantle the slash that cuts the world. We were all waiting for it. From Sukuna. What did he just grab? Oh, look at Yuta, or Rika holding out the arms. Dismantle has a broad strike zone, so he couldn't use it with hollow wicker basket. And even a single technique requires hand signs or chanting a curse, sometimes both. I won't let it. This is Yuta again. Sorry, picture of Sukuna. Wow, he's actually been kind of bloodied and hurt here. I won't let him do it either. His slashing attacks are weakening, so I don't need to fear getting in close. Don't get overconfident now. Don't get overconfident now. What's this? The boy's blood erupted. According to Tsukumo's notes, souls may mix to some degree, but usually they don't become one. Aren't you and Sukuna special? That was not the Choso voice. I've never sensed, or the Choso voice. I've never sensed the person whose flesh became my foundation. In the case of a cursed object and a non-sorcerer, that can happen due to the big difference in cursed energy. Even then, it's deep inside and doesn't disappear or completely merge. You said usually. It's a problem if Megumi's an exception. I added that on my own. The cursed spirit Mahito was able to combine other souls to transmogrify into different life forms. As long as a cursed technique like that isn't involved, two souls won't become one, I think. I trust Tsukumo, so I think I can knock Fushiguro's soul awake. That approach should work well with our cursed technique. The angel's cursed technique is destruction of a target's cursed technique. In a fully fleshed curse, the cursed technique or cursed object are in direct connection with the personality, meaning it's possible to remove Sukuna, but the cursed technique is enmeshed with the brain, so the target's chances of survival aren't good. If we could pull the two souls apart to weaken the harmonization between cursed object and flesh, the chances of survival should drastically improve. Maximum output. Jacob's ladder! Okay. Well, they've got him, right? Wake up, Fushiguro. Itadori and Okotsu's calculations weren't wrong regarding the structure of the soul. Enough already. But... Oh, this is Megumi. That's enough. When it came to the will to live, Megumi Fushiguro's soul had already... Yeah. He still did, by technicality, murder his own sister. The person he was working and fighting so hard to save. This isn't going to be easy. Dragon scales. Repulsion. Paired falling stars. Is this dismantle? Yuta! Oh... No, Rika! It was a conventional move for a sorcerer that Sukuna should have been able to avoid. A surprise attack against a strong opponent. Certain of victory. Huh. Maki is here. Let's go, Maki. Okotsu did a good job shifting the barrier's coordinates. Everyone will scatter and take up positions so there are no blind spots. Then when Okotsu lets down part of the barrier, Zenin rushes in. Don't miss the signal. Kukusabe. A few more people should go into the domain. After all, the plan called for Choso to go in too. You're bringing that up now? If someone penetrates Okotsu's domain now, Sukuna will direct his attention outside the domain. And the last thing we want to do is spoil Zenin's surprise attack. Besides, how many of us can maneuver around a special grade sorcerer?
I bet you could.
Zenin, a lot rests on you. Let's go, Maki. Let's go, Maki. Akotsu will signal when Sukuna lets down his guard. We've expected a scene like this. It's the best. And worst case scenario. Oui, oui. Okay.
Damn that possessed brat. He burst the domain on purpose. Probably to signal his allies outside. They planned to use the barrier just rupturing to distract me when I was certain of victory, so the woman with heavenly restriction could strike. It must be possible to pass through an ordinary barrier if you have no cursed energy. They must have planted the cursed tool ahead of time. This wound is healing slower than the others. When someone who can observe the soul wields split soul katana, reverse curse technique usually doesn't heal the wound. Repairing the soul's shape requires comprehending the soul's contours. 2 souls inhabit Sukuna's body, so he was aware of the conditions of his own soul, much like with Yuji Itadori. But he couldn't perfectly adapt to reverse curse technique functioning differently than usual, while suffering the after effects of his fight against Satoru Gojo. Makes sense. Fushiguro. Not yet.
What the? No. You know why this happened. Reverse curse technique is a big move you just learned, and you've healed 4 wounds that should have been fatal. You haven't fully healed. There must be some place you haven't fixed yet. But where? Hurry and find it.
Calm yourself. Remember and envision. Send blood to every part of your body as if extending roots. Imagine you're shaping your body through blood vessels.
Big bro is here to help. Oh, she's so fast. She's like a blur. This is so cool. I kind of wish she was using the inverted spear of heaven, but I get that's kind of problematic. I know it's not around anymore, you know, because Gojo got rid of it. But it's still like the fantasy of it is kind of cool to imagine. You get what I mean. She does seem to actually be able to match him blow for blow. Dude, and send him flying, apparently. Straight through that wall. And she got smashed back in the same way. Paired falling stars. She reads my technique better than other sorcerers. Much like when I battled Mahoraga in Shibuya.
He's using cursed energy to simultaneously heal and keep his heart beating. So what Megumi said earlier about their encounter at the juvenile detention center must be true. Your heart. Can you keep that up while battling me?
At the moment, I'm having no trouble at all.
I doubt he's trying to hide, but Sukuna's presence is easy to spot.
Oh, okay. We're back with Hikari. This is Hikari talking. I doubt he's trying to hide, but Sukuna's presence is easy to spot.
What are you trying to say?
The form of his looks pretty dangerous, but we're doing all right. Sukuna's cursed energy is withering away. We're gonna win this. You can bet on it.
Your curse technique and optimism are both absurd.
Thanks. Akotsu's even more so.
Lord Sukuna is capricious. His cursed energy wavers like this when he isn't interested in his opponents. You should be ashamed of yourselves for not presenting a better fight than Satoru Gojo. Even considering the effects of the early fighting, I can see that Lord Sukuna still isn't taking this fight seriously.
Of course he isn't. What a punk. Oh, that is a wicked title. That is a wicked page. Chapter 253. I'm going to see how many... Oh. Okay. I guess we're going to do this one. No. We're sitting at 25 minutes, so we're going to call it there for now. The next part will be up in no time, you know. This is really good. We're in the meat. We're in the potatoes. This is so good. I am very, very, very excited. It seems, I guess let's go recap right quick. So, starting back here. Yuta appears having killed Kenjaku. And upon killing him, the cursed spirit manipulation begins running amok, to which he and Rika have to respond to saving as many people as they can, at which point Kenjaku adds the additional, the 15th rule, allowing Megumi to initiate the merger. Kind of a Chekhov's gun situation, if you ask me. Because if they do get... it's interesting. The terms of that aren't very specific. It's possible if they get... Because Yuta sees Tengen, right? And potentially goes to get him right here. Like, ends up saving him. And if they have Tengen, then they can do the merger. If Megumi gets free, I mean, either two things can happen. He loses it and does the merger, or he uses the merger somehow to defeat Sukuna by the vague terms of what the merger entails. It's just a thought. Kenjaku dies, like, being glad he got to fight Takaba. Sure, great, good job, buddy. And then Yuta shows up back in his fight against Sukuna. Then the two kind of start going at it, continuing to fight, Yuji getting involved as well, and then Yuta hits him with authentic mutual love, to which Sukuna responds with his hollow wicker basket, which he's going to proceed to hold up for the next foreseeable future. Oh, I love the katana, like, falling away out of his hand. That makes more sense, understanding how the domain works. So yeah, we're gonna, basically the idea is to tear at, like, to attack the pressure point between Sukuna's soul and Megumi's soul, and to separate them out. They continue clashing with these weird little Rika spirits, and the big Rika continuing. They're basically just trying to let him break down Hollow Wicker Basket because Yuta feels this is the best way to end the fight, which he probably has a fair point. Don't Move, Then Icebreaker, continuing to demonstrate his mastery of copy, and however, one thing I am curious about is this line in particular where Yuta says he cheated. I really want to know what that means. I have a feeling we're gonna find out. It doesn't look like Yuta's dead. He took a cleave to the chest, but I don't think he's dead yet. Yeah, he continues kind of developing, fighting Sukuna further and further until this was pretty, like, wild. Yuta uses cleave, his very own move, against Sukuna, which is apparently Yuta ate the last finger, which, wild implications there. A, why would he need to do that? He doesn't, like, it's not like to initially copy cursed speech he needed to eat Inumaki's hair or whatever. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I guess maybe due to the specific parameters. This also could be what he means by he cheated. Just giving him a massive power boost. But if that's the case, would a part of Sukuna not also live on in Yuta, and could this not be kind of problematic? Remains to be seen. They just keep absolutely... I have to say, from what I read so far, just, like, there's some absolute slobber knocker punches. This one from Yuta, Yuji's flying drop kick fueled by Rika. The part where Rika spikes spikes him straight into the ground, holding him apart just for the sword to come in. And then, yeah, basically the idea is, this is them explaining it. Maximum output, Jacob's ladder. Which kind of raises the question, why would they not just have Angel do this? Kind of curious to me, but I guess they need... It is weird. I get it. The plan contingents on Sukuna not recognizing that people are outside of the barrier, so Maki can launch her surprise attack. And then Yuji finally gets to confront Megumi, who seemingly has given up inside of Sukuna. He's just like wallowing in despair. Which just means we gotta save him all the more. And then Yuta takes a cleave straight to the chest, destroying Rika, shattering the domain. And then Maki, obviously, the demon, shows up. And then we kind of hear Kukasabe and Ino talking about the plan. Maki takes the running start position. And there's just this really wild ink art. This is important also. Wee saves Yuta, seemingly. You see Rika carrying Yuta's body there, and Wee is able to kind of take that cloak thing the same way he took Higuruma's body, presumably back to Shoko. I suppose we'll see, though. Yeah. Kind of explaining what we've already talked about here. Megumi, he's talking about Megumi. Yuji struggling to heal before Big Bro Choso comes and kind of resets him back up. All good stuff. Maki just starts absolutely slugging it. I love that panel, just sending him flying. Might even use that in the thumbnail. She's just got this crazed look on her face. Man, it's hard to even remember the old Maki. This is such an improvement. Biggest glow up in, like, history. Goes just flying through a wall, trading blows. Massive slash comes out, and he says, "You're not even entertaining." And then basically the same thing gets echoed here, is that he isn't taking the fight seriously. Which, if you ask me, that's a load of baloney. But, you know, I guess we'll see where we go next. This is certainly not going to be a bloodless journey. And then they all hold Sukuna's forehands and they sing Kumbaya and everyone stops fighting and it's all fine. Thanks for joining me. Have a good one, everybody.